told her that we loved her and that we were so proud of her. And she was just the best daughter without realizing that she was not going to ever wake back up. Dakota passed away on Tuesday, May 4th. I don't want any parent to feel this void that we have. Nobody should have to feel this. This is the worst feeling in the world. Especially when you know you did everything you could to protect them.
If you look at our daughter, she was tip-top shape. I think she had no underlying conditions. And what COVID did to her.
If she got the vaccine, she would have some underlying conditions. I guarantee.
Dakota knew that her life mattered, that all lives mattered, and that Black lives matter.
Promise you, because no matter what her symptom was, it's going to be an underlying condition.
I promise you. To go get a vaccine. Please take your babies for Dakota's sake. You have to protect your babies at all costs. From prom dresses.
Yeah, but you probably don't understand.
All lives matter.
She was.
Did she say all lives matter?
For her. I don't
That
want any parent
might
to
have been the
feel
other commercial because I had hit that with my voice.
Nobody. The best daughter.
I think she said Black Lives Matter. I've seen it 100 times. So
passed away on Tuesday, May 4th. The only thing that
because they were readily available.
Readily.
Forcing them down everybody, everything. I know all that's like not part of the commercial, but I'm the one. Why, what? And how people be so sure that they didn't have no fucking underlying condition? How they be so sure about that? But they are like, yeah, how? Explain. I'm waiting. You catch COVID, things turn for the worse. You have no underlying condition. Because we all know, if you get the shot, that's your savior. Okay. And then, if you don't get the shot, you fucked. You're gonna die. Just like she did. You're gonna just fucking die. She didn't have no underlying conditions. And, this is a triple threat for them. No underlying conditions, supposedly. She's young, female, and black. So, that's perfect for them to get the age range that they're targeting. Now, the same age range that they said was not a threat to anybody, or COVID wasn't even really affecting them that much. The teenagers, they don't need to worry about that stuff.
And their organs are still fresh.
They're still fresh. Only it's just the adults that the older people needed to get it. The kids, they hardly even spread anything. You don't even know their germ load, virus load. So that's not really, But after they got the shit available, got the old people and the other people, now they're like, look at all these kids. Mm-hmm. Look at all these teenagers, almost dying and stuff. You gotta have a fucking vaccine for them. You gotta have it. And then they come out and say, you know what, I don't think we should be vaccinating teenagers yet, because, No.
Like we just told you to do last week.
Like, no. Okay, we're gonna have a emergency meeting on why these teenagers' hearts are blowing up.
Okay, remember last week when we told y'all to go ahead and line the kids up?
No, nothing. We just gonna check it out. Y'all keep rolling, keep going, get that shit. The first shot fucked you up, like really, really bad. Okay, we'll get the second shot. Why don't you go door to door with some insulin for people? Why don't you do that shit?
Chemotherapy.
I don't know if you can carry that portable.
Yeah.
You go door to door and give people shit that like
blood thinners.
But yeah, the fucking insulin. Like, that people. So when they run out, they target the old people, target the other people, target the teenagers. When they run out of all the targets, because I'm vaccinated. That's why they relied on the booster. Because we got to keep this shit going. You're probably gonna need boosters every year, and that could be why they're playing up these variants, all these different variants. See, it changes all the time, so you got to have fucking booster every year. No, we found out that the efficacy is like 3 years. It could be like a year to 3 years. Hold on. it might be like 6 months.
Right.
But we don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pfizer's like, well, you probably gonna need some boosters. CDC's like, no, don't listen to Pfizer. No, we working together though. CEO, he's a cool guy. He's a nice guy. He just started talking before he even told the CDC about what, whatever. In the meantime, don't do no medical history checks on anybody. Just fucking...
And don't ask no questions.
Don't ask no questions.
Don't wonder what's in it.
You know why? Because if anything
Don't
goes
wonder
wrong,
what's in it, and don't wonder what the side effects is, because it's not going to matter, because if anything goes wrong, go ahead. Continue.
who's to blame? Nobody. Nobody's to blame.
You know who ain't to blame?
Who's responsible? The person that got it? That made the decision?
The victim.
So...
Willful victim, but victim all the same.
Well, when you call them out on everything... Well, everything is constantly changing. So we have to change with the things, too. Oh, and dude at work said that his uncle... I guess he's one in the family that got the shot. That, most of his family, I guess, don't want the shot. But he said his uncle got the shot. He said, I found out my uncle got the shot. And I think he said he was down for like a week.
Yes.
But I told him, I said, yeah, my mom's neighbor, and then we're going to make the unvaccinated, we're going to try to shame them. We're going to try to make them, we're going to turn the vaccinated people against them and, pressure them even more to get vaccinated. And, we're going to say, hey, look what you can do. You can fly, you can go to the beach, you can go to a restaurant without your mask on. All you got to do is get the shot. Matter of fact, who would have thought to have a lottery to pay somebody $1 million raffle to get a vaccine?
And who did it? I would have been sure they was going to kill me for sure. So they wouldn't have to, so they would.
I wonder who won, because I still don't know.
It was a white girl in high school, white girl.
Oh, somebody.
Yeah, somebody they meant to win.
Yeah.
That they promised to give the money to.
That wouldn't look good if they got the shot, they got to make sure that they stay okay first, then, right?
Right,
because when they stop the drawing,
you're right. They gotta stay, and they gotta stay living so they can say, "Oh, this person." Because if the person that won the lottery dies, then that's not gonna look good. So whoever wins the incentive, they gotta
make sure they help.
They gotta make sure they take care of it.
And there's ways of doing that, because they draw the drawing, and then they can interview the person, and they don't know what because they check on people and ask them if they got symptoms and stuff. Yeah. So, man, please. So, how do you feel? This person got $1 million to get the shot, and you got a fucking beer, and you got a fucking joint,
chicken sandwich,
and you got a fucking chicken sandwich,
and you got symptoms and died because all you got was a chicken sandwich.
Well, you know what?
They're not gonna take care of you like
because of the fucking cholesterol
from the chicken sandwich
and all that shit, and from
the way you eat.
Well, actually.
Again, it's gonna be your fault from the way you eat.
He didn't swallow it. He or she didn't swallow it right, and they got caught in their throat.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah, definitely had nothing to do with the vaccine. That's the part that pisses me off, is that they don't even want to look at that possibility. Like, in this underlying condition crap, I'd rather you just say it's a coincidence. Okay, say it's a coincidence, but to say you had underlying conditions pisses me off, because if you uncover something that was covered up, it's like, okay, if you had a Band-Aid on and that fucking Band-Aid was going to stay on for the rest of your fucking life, or until you got 93. But here you are, 40, 30, whatever, Band-Aid's real tight. Now you fucking do some shit and then it rips the fucking Band-Aid off or loosens it up, and then you fucking get fucked up. Oh, what caused it? That's what I'm saying. Everything was fine until you put the fucking shit in you. So what? Something changed. And that's what, like, for a medical industry, for a profession that diagnoses stuff, because, Like, if your brain, that's what you do. You get to the bottom of stuff. And I'm sure I can come up with the exact same analogy on how they would, like they said, it was underlying condition or whatever, we just that. But it would be the same thing with something else where they would say, no, this happened because you did this. Okay, so how come, if you eat certain foods, whatever, they don't say, well, you just caused an underlying condition. Mm-hmm. They say it's a direct result of what you fucking did. Mm-hmm. Well, what did you do? I'm feeling this and this. Well, did you change anything in your diet? Did you do this? Did you do that?
Yeah, I changed what I got jabbed.
But we're not talking about anything besides that. Because that would have no
bearing on it.
Oh, you had tomato. Okay. You grew it yourself?
Now we're getting to the bottom.
Some people put fertilizers and pest stuff in there, and it can really wreak havoc.
And some of the things that we think are organic, we find out that they're not.
I get that, but I've been eating these fucking tomatoes for fucking 10 years and growing them the same exact fucking way. Yeah, but sometimes the body will build up a tolerance, and then it won't, and it could actually cause some stuff over time. Or something that causes shock to your system, causes your body to react. What's the difference? Why can't they ever say, you know what, we don't know? We don't know.
Because they're lying about everything.
Why do everybody gotta have anxiety when something's wrong with them? And they don't know what's wrong with them. Why do they have to have anxiety or, some made up, or doctors tell people stuff is in their head? How do you even do that? And those are supposed to be the people, care for life. And I don't know if it's true, but somebody was saying that they went to the Mayo Clinic for some shit, and they was like, they just told them that, nothing, they didn't find nothing wrong, whatever, and blah blah blah. After they got the vaccine, they was having some shit going on, and they said the story, and then they were like, I actually went to the Mayo Clinic, and then it said after that they couldn't find a doctor that would see them because they went to the Mayo Clinic already. So I'm just I meant to do some research, but I didn't. So if you go to the Mayo Clinic and have all the specialists and stuff and and then you go to a regular doctor, that doctor's gonna be like, oh no, I can't touch that. You went there, ain't nothing I can do. So now that person was really frustrated because now they feel like they can't go anywhere. But from the pharmaceutical industry, what if they create another vaccine? They create the vaccine first. That's what they're gonna do next time. They're gonna create the vaccine first, one that really does work, maybe, and then they're gonna create the pathogen or that virus.
You said that like they didn't do that.
Yeah, but they having problems with this vaccine. You see, maybe they did it, but it just ain't work out right, or they just said let's go with it anyway.
Exactly the way they meant for it to work.
Yeah, that could be too, because maybe that shit they put in it or just anybody that's genetically weak or anything, or any health things, maybe it just go through and expose all your fucking hidden shit. Maybe that's the whole thing, is it brings up all of your fucking underlying conditions or quote whatever. And how can they be so sure, 100%, that it's gonna be worse if you get COVID than if you take the vaccine? You can't make that statement about every single person when you got all these people that got COVID, and you hear some of them that are like, oh, I had a sniffle, I had this, I had diarrhea, or I was messed up for a week or whatever. Even the ones for a month, that's whatever, but they bounce back. and all the ones that had the
we don't even hear
light symptoms.
And I was gonna say we don't even hear about the long haulers no more.
Right.
And they gotta live for the rest of their life
Right.
with that.
And
shit.
I'm sure they don't want. Well, they should want you to hear about them still, but
yeah, because they're gonna go down as a statistic, and then they're gonna be that person with this whatever disease for that.
right. But I'm saying that would encourage them to use that to push their vaccine more for the long haulers. You know, if they expose them more.
Mm-hmm.
But I just this brainwashing thing, though, it's just so powerful to where even if you believed what they said about, you know, the vaccine and you feel you're doing the right thing, and that's to each his own. But the brainwashing part, the secondary part of the cynical part of it, of like pitting people against people, but I guess they've been doing that since the beginning of the time, you know, government and stuff like that, divide and conquer or whatever they need to do. Because honestly, I didn't see it, the script being flipped to where the non-vaccinated people were the so-called problem and spreading and all that. And I'm not buying it. And obviously they know that if they got to say that, or you know, not have a lot to say about vaccinated people still spreading stuff, because they kind of like, well, you know, it's possible, but you know, might not be as much. But wear a mask, vaccinated people. That was the whole point, because you said that if I got vaccinated, I don't have to be restricted with a fucking mask, and I can do whatever I want. So you think those people would be mad and be like, what the? But they still on some, you know, it's the unvaccinated people that's blah 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 blah. I'm just like, no, I hope they die. And then the unvaccinated people like, I hope y'all die with the vaccine. You know, it's like, where is all this come from? And I've read about like people's families like separating and shit because these people, you know, want to vaccinate. These people don't want the people around them that ain't vaccinated, so they stop going to each other's houses and stuff. So I be reading this shit in the forum, and I be like, this shit really, like, separating families? Like, really? Like, I could see saying, look, until this shit pans over, you know, we're going to limit our visits and, you know.
Well, it's gonna be somebody that just hard-headed, that don't take you seriously, and they're gonna try to come through. You're gonna be like, no, you're not welcome in my house because you're not taking it seriously. And then there's a wedge in the family and that thing. You know, it's been people that say to their own children, you can't come. They're grown children that they know is just running around. You can't come visit me. You know, we talk on the phone or whatever, but you're not welcome at my house, and that is taken personally because it's family, and we're trained to put up with whatever from family. And I could see that, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, none of my people there, if I lived out there right now, it would be some strain because nobody would no longer be welcome at my house, and I wouldn't be going to visit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but people still can talk on the phone and shit. Like that, why it's gotta be bad blood though?
Because on some level, some of those people have to interact on some, you know what I mean? So now because your daughter is running around crazy. I mean, not crazy, because your daughter's running around not taking seriously and exposing herself and getting sick and whatnot. Then I don't want to see you, because even though you're not running around and you're taking it seriously, your daughter had to come in and out and see you. So now I can't see you.
Yeah, I mean,
because I'm not seeing your daughter, because we all know it's a whole bunch of different varieties.
And you could have a situation where somebody was always picking up somebody else's kids or something.
Right.
And, you know, it's like,
and you exposing my kids,
right.
and you know, it's dangerous. And then somebody, then maybe in your family, the person that took the precaution was the one that got sick, and all the one that never protected the cautions are like, see, you all whatever, and they insensitive because now they feel like so I could see a bunch of ways, a whole variety of ways that families could be.
You don't have family like that,
and so. I would be one of them probably because I chose to take it seriously. Yeah.
Sorry about my COVID rant, vaccine rant, but I just have to keep replaying it in my head because I just all the inconsistencies and changing of things, and it's like, do anybody remember what they what they were saying from the beginning and how shit changes and then it goes back and then it changes and it just don't seem no consistency. And it just seems like you do all that and get the shots and like you'd be upset, then you'd just be like, well, they said I wouldn't get severe sick, and it's just the same with the flu shot. You cannot prove that. You cannot prove how sick you would have been if you got the flu shot versus if you didn't. You can't prove that. I mean, I know my body you can, or individual, they can do numbers or whatever, but stats, but you don't know the individual in there, because you could be the individuals that got the worst flu ever, or you can be the ones that didn't, but they're just looking at the mass numbers. So yeah, I'm just thinking what the future's gonna be like.
Oh, I'll definitely get more relaxed because you can't not live. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll definitely get more relaxed, but I'm quite frankly, I'm just gonna keep wearing the mask just because it plays into my own introvertism. So it's gonna get to a point where I'm wearing the mask just because I feel like I'm extending my privacy. So I'm gonna keep wearing it, and I'm gonna act like I'm bothered by it, like well, I'm either talk to me from there. I'm gonna use this shit for the rest of this, for as long as I'm gonna hold on to it.
But it's like the people, well, not all of them,
but
a lot of the ones that get vaccinated, like they think that just free and clear said don't have to do nothing.
I know, and that's another thing that could fuck up families. Somebody could be vaccinated and they just
Right.
overnight give
I'm
it.
vaccinated. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I can't spread nothing.
And so they like, okay, you are not welcome in my house. And then they mad at you because they feel like I went and got vaccinated. I don't know why she don't want, she think I can come in there. I can't get.
Oh, I can tell you what got salesperson came to the job. He comes every week and he says he usually had a scarf on his face, but the other week, not this week, but last week he came in. He didn't have the scarf on his face.
The MAGA scarf? That just go around your neck and shit? The one that's not a mask, that just go around your neck?
Oh, like a gator? I'm trying to... Yeah, maybe it was. But no, he might have had... Yeah, it was a
okay,
gator.
go ahead.
Go around. Yeah, it was the scarf thing. So he came in and he says, he didn't have it on. So he starts out, he says... just so you know, just to let you know, I've been fully vaccinated, I had my shots, and this and this and that. And I took a step back and I said, just so you know, I said, that means nothing to me.
Okay.
This is, so as long as we're on the same page, I said, that means nothing to me.
Good.
And he's like, oh, okay.
When was that?
Not this week, but last week.
You told me, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. So when he came in this week, I mean, he came up to me, but he definitely stayed 6 feet away from me.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this shit, man. Yeah. I'm holding on to it. I don't let everybody already know, but whether I believe it or not, I'm keeping my extra 2 feet forever and ever.
And where's all these so-called, like I said, I'm not part of that group, but I'm just observe things, and it's like, where are those anti-government people? I thought you didn't trust the government, but now you getting shot up left and right. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. But they maybe came because I gotta travel. I want to go on a golf course. I want to go, I'll get your stupid shot. But it's my decision.
No, they want to keep their job.
Well, they want to keep their job. Well, I know I would have lost my job.
I'm just saying, there's some employees that have been on code.
Yeah. Right. Because there's a lot of healthcare people that was
on code.
Yeah. And in the forums, you be seeing, you can, see the real stories of the people that, You know, they were like, I really, really didn't want to get the shot. I'm freaking out right now, but I know I need my job. I gotta support this and this and this, and you know, pray for me because I really don't want anything to happen. You know, and this is the first shot. You know, so, and I was like, so.
Well, it don't matter first or second, because if you got one, you gotta get another one. So it's just scary.
You don't have to get another one. You don't have to get another one. I mean, you're supposed to, but there's millions of people that only got one shot, and they don't tell you why they only got one shot. A lot of them got one shot because they had such a bad reaction that they not getting that.
Then that
shot.
means they're not protected.
Not fully protected. That's how they change it. Not fully protected. They have some protection, but they're not fully protected. So yeah, but they don't say that's not why the people got the second shot. They say that because, you know, people just didn't follow up, or they didn't have vaccines at the time, or blah blah blah. So that's just interesting to me though, because I'm just watching this shit unfold and back unfold. But even the guy that don't want to wear the mask, he says he's careful, but like he don't wear a mask there. Obviously, to me, he ain't wearing a mask when he goes out other places. So
I don't want any parent to feel this void that her life mattered, that all lives mattered, and that Black lives matter. Black moms and Black dads.
I did.
They made her say
all lives matter. They made her say that. That's
what I first.
She said it first. And then just, that was a byproduct. Oh,
right.
Matter of fact, Black Lives Matter.
Right. But
oh, boy.
If you black, that's what you're going to hear. Black Lives Matter.
Take your baby.
And what COVID did to her in such a short time, it could do to any child.
Dakota knew that her life mattered, that all lives mattered, and that Black lives matter. Black moms and Black dads, take your babies to go get a vaccine. Please take your babies for the COVID's sake. You have to protect your babies at all costs.
From prom dresses to workouts and new
how much they
adventures.
pay her to sacrifice her child.
The less they'll miss.
And be okay
Even
with
if
it.
your teen was vaccinated against meningitis in the past, they
that,
may
I
be
would have
missing
to-
But both of
I
them.
have to get some fucking loans and shit to pay the or whatever. I ain't gonna be no fucking poster fucking stamp for that shit. And I just want to know why they wasn't able to get the vaccine then.
They do that all the time, but they do it all the
Now, as you're
time.
thinking about all the vaccines
They
your
do it.
teen
They'll
might
follow
need,
that
make sure you ask your doctor
preface
if your
it
teen
with a
is missing meningitis
Walgreens
B
or a
vaccination.
John fucking Legend. This is our shot, motherfucking.
Special like my fried stripes, made
I
with
had no
real
credit
original keeper
after that.
fat.
When I told him that
Only elves can make cookies this good.
disagreement me and the doctor had, or our powwow we had. I said, you know, I said he spent like, literally, I told him like 80%, if not 85%, talking about the fucking vaccine and what I came in there for. I said, so after we get the powwow done, and then we go back to this, she tells me, I want you to get the shingles vaccination. And I read somewhere that shingles can come back, but I also read that it's very rare that most people, they might only get shingles once in their life, and it might not come back. But if it keeps reoccurring, then, you know, it could be an issue. So she was saying that because that little bit on the side, like it had come back, but it might not have been fully gone. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was trying to figure out how long does it last, because if you don't have the visual, you can still have the shingles, but not, you know, have any bumps or whatever. You know, or so I'm just saying, I was trying to figure out, like, well, how long does it stay in your system, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I got, you know, I still don't have those answers. So